Hi everyone, in the previous video we learned how tool calling works conceptually. We saw that the AI model does not directly access our APIs, databases or backend systems. Instead, when the model needs external information or wants to perform an action, it requests a tool call. Our application executes the tool call and sends the result back to the model. So the key idea is simple. The model decides which tool should be used. The application performs the actual work. Now it's time to see this in action. In this video, we will build tool calling step by step using Spring Boot, Spring AI and OpenAI. We will use a very simple use case. A user asks, what is the status of my loan application using application ID? The model does not know this information. So we will see how the model selects a tool, how Spring AI executes our backend method, and how the model result is sent back to the how the tool result is sent back to the model, and how the model generates the final response. We will also look at the logs to understand exactly what is happening behind the scenes. So let's start by creating the project. For this, first open this URL start.spring.io. Here simply select project type as Maven, right? Language Java, and for Spring Boot select 3.5.15. In project metadata, so in group I'm adding com.learn, and in artifact I'm adding tool calling, right? So packaging keep as it is jar, and then select the Java version 17. Now you have to add two dependencies. One is Spring Web, right? And the second one is OpenAI. So OpenAI. So you have to choose this dependency, OpenAI. Now simply click the generate and it will download the zip, right? I have imported the project in IntelliJ and I want you to first focus on pom.xml file, right? So you will notice two important things here. First one is this dependency. So Spring AI BOM, right? So BOM stand for Bill of Materials. So think of it as a central place that manages versions of all Spring AI libraries, right? So you don't have to specify versions for every Spring AI dependencies individually, right? So it will manage all those things automatically. So it will figure out the compatible version and it will manage this automatically. So this avoid version mismatch issues, right? Now let's look at the second dependency. So this one. So this dependencies, so basically we have added this dependency of OpenAI, right? So this dependencies gives our application the ability to communicate with OpenAI models, right? So it automatically configures the required beans and provide classes such as ChatClient and chat model that we will use throughout this project, right? And the third dependency, I'm assuming you are already familiar with Spring Boot starter web, right? So we are adding this because we want to expose a REST API. Our application will receive a user request and internally we'll send it to the AI model, and we get the response back, right? And we have to return this response to the user. So without a Spring Web, we would not be able to create controllers or expose HTTP endpoints. Before talking to OpenAI, Spring AI needs an API key and model configuration. You need to configure this in application.properties file, right? So if you are not sure how to generate an OpenAI API key, check out the first video in this series where I explain the complete setup step by step. You will find the link in the description, right? For now, let's continue with the implementation. Let me quickly show you the project structure. For this demo, I have kept the project very simple. We have one configuration class, we have one controller class, one service class, we have two DTOs, one for taking a request and one for responding it back, right? And then I have also defined one tool class, right? So I have also added the complete GitHub repository link in the description, so you can directly clone the project and follow along. Now let's start with the configuration class first. So I have created a class called AI configuration, right? Now inside this class, I am creating a chat client bean, a bean for chat client. So chat client is the main object we will use to talk to the AI model. So you can think of ChatClient as a high-level abstraction provided by Spring AI. So instead of manually creating HTTP requests, constructing JSON payloads, and calling OpenAI APIs ourselves, we simply interact with ChatClient, right? So whenever user asks a question, we will use ChatClient to send that request to OpenAI and receive the response. So behind the scene, Spring AI takes care of all the communications. Now look at this line, this default advisor, right? So before understanding simple logger advisor, let's first understand what an advisor is. You can think of an advisor as something that sits in between our application and the AI model. So whenever request goes to the model, the advisor gets a chance to inspect or modify that request. And whenever a response comes back from the model, the advisor can inspect or modify that response as well. So in our case, we are using built-in advisor called simple logger advisor. And this advisor simply logs the request and response, right? So now let's move to the next line. So the next important part is the system message, right? So you can read this system message, right? So this system message is like an instruction to the model. We are telling the model you are a loan assistant. So the model should behave like a loan assistant throughout this conversation. And now we are adding few rules, right? So if you see the first rule, if the user asks about loan status, use the available loan status tool, right? This rule is very important. We are clearly telling the model, if the user asks about loan status, do not answer from your own knowledge. Use the tool that we will expose, right? The second rule is do not guess loan status. This is important because loan status is not general information. So the model should not guess whether the loan is approved, rejected, or under review, right? The third one is if the application ID is missing, ask the user for the application ID, right? So it's a very straightforward. And the fourth is keep the final response simple and clear, right? So this helps us keep the final answer user friendly because the tool may return structured data, the JSON structured data, right? But the user should receive a simple response, right? And finally, we called build. This create the final chat client object. So this configuration class prepare the AI client for our application. Let's see the loan service class. And in this service class, if you see for this demo, I have kept the things simple and use in memory map, right? So in a map, I configured couple of loan applications along with their status. One application is app123, another one is app456, and you can see, so I have kept the loan status, right? So you can see this DTO loan status response. It has three fields: application ID, status, and message, right? So I simply kept the value as this loan status response, right? So in actual application, this data would typically come from database or a microservice or an external API, right? But so I want to keep the thing simple, so I have configured in a map. Now look at this method, get loan status, right? So this method receives an application ID and returns the corresponding loan status response object containing the loan status and message, right? So if it found the application ID in this map, it will return its value. If it is not present, then it return the default, right? Now let's move to the most important class, which is loan tool, right? So this class exposes our functionality to the AI model. Now look at this annotation, right? This tells Spring AI that this method is available as a tool for the model, right? So the this description is very important because the model uses it to understand when this tool should be called, right? And now look at this parameter, right? This tells the model that this method needs a loan application ID as an input. So when user asks what is the status of my loan application app123, the model understand that app123 should be passed as application ID, and inside the model, so inside this method, if you see in this method, we log the input and simply calling get loan status, right, and passing this application ID. So the model only selects the tool. Our application execute the actual service method, and that is the core idea of tool calling. Now let's see the controller class. This will be the entry point of our application. Whenever a user sends a question, this controller receives the request and forwards it to the AI model. Now let's connect everything together inside this method, right? So let's first look at this prompt part, right? So we are creating a new prompt that will be sent to the model, right? So next, this user message. So if the user asks, what is the status of my loan application app 123, this message becomes part of the prompt sent to the model, right? Now let's look at this line, right? We are making our loan tool available to the model, right? So without this line, the model would never know that the get loan status tool exists. Once the model receives the question, once the model receives the user question and the available tool definitions, it decide whether a tool should be used, right? Next, we are executing this call method. This sends, so we are calling this call method. This send the prompt to the model. So if the model decide to use the tool, Spring AI automatically execute the tool and send the result back to the model. And finally, this content method, right? So this method extract the final text response generated by the model, and that response is returned back to the user. So let's call this endpoint through the postman and see what happens. Let's call this endpoint, right? Let me open the terminal and run this application. And to run this application, I'm simply executing mvn spring-boot :run, and it will take few seconds to run this application. Now the application has been started. So let's go back to postman and postman. So this is the endpoint we are calling, right? And as a user, I'm asking what is the status of my loan application app 921. So let me execute this and let's wait for a few seconds as it is interacting with the LLM. So now you can see the response. The loan application ID with ID app 921 was not found, and you know why? Because if you see in this loan service, so these are the two valid application IDs. So let me change to app 123 and execute this, right? And let's see what's the response this time. The status of your loan application app 123 is under review, right? So let's go back to the terminal and see what happens behind the scenes, right? So if you see, so when I executed this, what is the status of my loan application app 123, right? So this request goes to the LLM, right? And then you can see now LLM sees the model sees we are asking about the loan status, and we expose the tool. So it invokes this tool call get loan status, right? So you see, if you can see in this logs, the once we executed the tool, we return this we return the response of this tool to the model, right? And once an model receive the response, and then it returns the final response. And in final response, you can see this text: the status of your loan application app 123 is under review, right? And this is the response we are sending to the user, right? And that's how tool calling works in Spring AI. The model does not perform the actual work. It decides which tool should be used. Your application executes the tool, fetches the data, and returns the result back to the model. Once you understand this flow, you will be able to build much more powerful AI applications that interact with APIs, payment systems, calendars, databases, and other backend services. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video.